The Mutual Broadcasting System, in cooperation with Family Theater Incorporated, presents Verdict Guilty, starring Alexander Knox and Stanley Clements. Dan Daly is your host.
More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of. We're all interested in knowing what the future holds for us. All of us would like to know how our jobs are going to hold up, how our finances and our families are going to get along. We know it's true that what the future holds depends on how well we're going to do our jobs, how well we manage our finances and families. But sometimes, even with our best efforts, things get out of hand. Yes, at times we need more help than our own efforts. And a great influence on what the future has in store for us depends on whether we shake our heads and refuse to believe in and ask for God's guidance, or whether we lift our hearts in the direct and simple appeal of prayer for the most wonderful strength and guidance in the world. Yes, that's what God's help means, and none of us can say his life isn't better and happier with that assistance, because with God, all things are possible. That's why praying together can make your family, my family, all our families better and happier. Yes, family prayer is the best investment for real security in a home.
Dan Daly will speak again following tonight's Family Theater story, Verdict Guilty, which stars Alexander Knox as Dad and Stanley Clements as Eddie. Tonight, we visit the small town of Middleville in North Dakota. The Thompson family with whom we're spending the evening is a real family. They're together now at dinner, Mother and Dad, and their three sons, Donald, Frank, and Richard Jr.
And that's the way it was, Dad. I was walking across the yard and he came up and socked me right in the eye.
Larry Peters, you mean?
Yeah, Dad, I was just coming down the school steps when I saw Larry come up and sock Don. And Don wasn't doing a thing.
I think it's very unfair that the school authorities allow rough boys like Larry Peters to get away with things.
Well, he isn't going to get away with this.
We'll show him.
We're going to gang up on him and really give him a working over, huh, fellas?
That's right. He won't
A working
forget it.
over. You know, like they do in the movies.
Oh.
I think he deserves something. Why, he could have injured Don's eye permanently.
Now, wait a minute.
Well, it's a disgrace. Don's eye may be blackened for...
Mother, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word in here, too.
Why, of course. It's just that I'm so upset to think...
Yes, I know. Don,
Yes, Dad?
Larry Peters is your best pal, isn't he?
Not anymore, he isn't. Why, if I live to be 100 million years old, I'm never going to forgive him. Why, he just
We're
came
going
up...
to do a job on Larry Peters. You just wait and see.
Yeah, Dad,
I don't know why Larry Peters hit Don. In fact, I don't think I'm worried about the particulars of his fight with Larry. But there's one thing I want to impress very strongly on all of you.
What's that, Dan?
Don't say you're never going to forgive anyone.
But he socked me right in the eye, Dad.
All right, wait a minute. Maybe Larry had a reason. But even if he did it on purpose, all of you have got to learn one thing. You can't go through life nursing grudges. Believe me, boys, it doesn't work.
But, gee, Dad, would you forgive somebody who socked you in the eye?
Boys, your father's right. You have to learn to forgive. I'll speak to the school authorities.
Gosh, Mom,
Well, I
you
would
can't
never
just
forgive
snitch.
him.
We'll fix him
boy.
up right.
Look, boys, I've got a story you should hear. I'll tell you what. You get at your homework, and when you're finished, I want you to come downstairs, and we'll have a family conference. Maybe then you'll understand how wrong you are. I'd hate to see you make the same mistake a friend of mine made. All right, let's finish dinner and get going.
Okay, Dad.
But, Dick, do you think you should tell the boys about that?
Yes, I think I should. I was a little surprised, disappointed at their attitude during dinner.
I guess I didn't help matters.
Well, maybe I've seen more of how a grudge can work into the heart of a man and ruin his career.
Dad, we got everything finished.
Okay, boys, come on in. Come in and sit around any place. Make yourself comfortable.
You want to see our homework first?
Oh, I think that can wait till I finish the story.
Gee, Dad, you haven't told us a story in a long time.
Well, this story is about a fellow, I'll call him Eddie, though that isn't his real name. He's a pretty good young fellow, just going on 19. He and his mother lived alone in a small house in Birkdale, about 25 miles from here. Eddie's mother worked during the day, and Eddie had a job after school as a sort of handyman at the local pool room. It was the only job he could get. You know, racking pool balls, helping the man at the lunch counter.
Hey, Eddie, look here, will you?
Yeah, sure. Coming right up, Mr. Andrews. Gonna shoot another game?
Nah, Sam and me have had enough. I just wanted to talk to you a minute.
Oh, okay.
You drive a car, don't you, Eddie?
Yeah, a little. I got a jalopy I ride to school and back.
Oh, I thought so. Could you use a little extra money?
I sure could. Next week is my mom's birthday, and, well, I sort of got my eye on a present for her, but it's pretty expensive.
Well, now maybe you'll be able to buy that present for her after all, Eddie. Sam and I got some business to transact over in Middleville tomorrow. And we'd like somebody to drive us over and back.
Gosh, Mr. Andrews.
Just call me Rocky.
Yeah? Well, gosh, Rocky, my jalopy isn't very dependable. It might get you there, and then again it might not.
Yeah, that's okay. I rented a car for tomorrow. But neither one of us are any good at driving. We'll meet here at noon, huh?
Oh, I couldn't go that soon. You see, I got a class until 3, and then I come here.
It's pretty important, Eddie. Couldn't you cut school for, well, say about $25? I can fix it up with your boss here, all right?
$25? Well, I got a pretty good attendance record, but gosh, for $25, that'd more than buy that present for my mom. Okay, Rocky, I'll meet you at noon.
I bet you I know what happened. They were gangsters
Oh,
and...
how could they be gangsters?
Maybe they were going to take him for a ride because he wouldn't play
could they
ball.
take him for a ride? He was just going to drive the car himself, you dummy.
Boys, suppose you let Dad tell the story.
Thank you, Mother. Actually, Frank, you're right. They were what you might call gangsters.
Dad, you're not just making all this up.
No. No, this is what really happened. Eddie met them at the pool room the following day at 12 o'clock, and they drove from Birkdale over here to Middleville. Eddie was a good driver, and they had no trouble. They stopped at a drugstore because Rocky said he had a phone call to make. And then Rocky told Eddie to park in front of the bank.
You mean the bank here in Middleville?
That's right, son. Eddie didn't know what it was all about until 2 policemen crept up behind him on either side of the car and pointed their guns at him.
Gosh.
But he got the whole story when they brought him into the bank. Rocky Andrews and Sam Jackson had long criminal records behind them. The police booked Eddie as an accomplice because he was driving the car.
That was a tough break for Eddie, wasn't it, Dad?
Yes, all appearances were against him.
Well, couldn't he explain that he wasn't doing anything wrong?
He tried to. He tried very hard. But no one would believe that he was as dumb as all that.
But couldn't he have told him?
Don, let Dad tell the story, will you?
Well, they took Eddie down to headquarters to be interviewed. The detectives were around him, asking him questions.
Look, Eddie, I've been on the force 15 years. I've heard all kinds of stories. See, I can spot a lie 3 miles away. Now, come clean. Make it easy on yourself, kid.
But I tell you, I didn't know they were going to hold up the bank. I didn't. I thought they were there on business.
On business? That's great, Eddie, great. They were there on business, all right.
Don't you believe what I'm telling you? I didn't know a thing about it.
You were going to be in on the split, weren't you?
Split? Oh, I was going to get $25 for driving them over and back.
$25. You work cheap, Eddie.
What do you want me to say? You've had me sitting here for hours. I can't tell you. You guys are mixing me all up. Please.
Look, come clean, kid. Give us the story.
You know what happened, Eddie.
You want to sit here forever until you give us the straight story?
Please, what do you want me to do?
Now, just sign this piece of paper, Eddie. It's only a confession admitting you were in on the deal.
And then you can go back to your cell and get a good night's sleep.
Okay. Give me the paper. Only I thought telling the truth was the best way out of any trouble.
It is, Eddie. Sign the paper.
Okay. There. Now let me lie down. Get some sleep. Please.
Gee, he shouldn't have signed that paper.
He was pretty dumb to sign it. I would never
Oh,
have
go on. What could he do? He was worn out. But I bet then he tells the judge all about it and everything's okay, isn't it, Dad?
Well, that'd be a nice way for it to end, Dick. But things don't always work out in a nice way. You see, the prosecuting attorney, that's the fellow who presents all the evidence and tries to convince the criminals, well, he was a pretty hard-working young fellow. He saw the signed confession and he believed Eddie was guilty. Besides, he was working hard for re-election to his job, and he knew that if he could get convictions against Rocky and Sam and Eddie, it'd help his chances.
He didn't lie about Eddie, did he?
No, he believed Eddie was guilty. But he used all the force and persuasiveness he had, and sometimes a clever prosecutor can talk about things so that the real facts aren't quite as clear as they might be. Some of the facts were against Eddie, too. It was a tough time for him, and he was confused by all the cross-examination.
Quiet, please, quiet. Quiet, please. Young man, I have to insist that you answer the questions of the prosecuting attorney.
But I'm trying to tell you what happened.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Eddie, I'll ask you again. Did you, of your own free will, wait outside the bank for your accomplices?
Yes, but...
Did you have the motor running while you waited?
Yes, but they said there'd only be a few minutes when...
That's all, Eddie, thank you.
But nobody wants to hear the story. I didn't do anything. I didn't.
The court will be adjourned until the afternoon session.
Now, Eddie, you're making a very poor witness for yourself. You've got to speak up by answering questions when they're asked.
I started out trying to tell my side of it, and every time I began saying anything, that prosecutor would interrupt me and the judge.
He has every legal right to do so, Eddie.
I just won't say another word. Everybody's against me. Nobody believes me. The judge said all I should do is answer the questions. He didn't even give me a chance to explain. Rocky gave me the lowdown when he passed me yesterday.
You mean when he was going up to the stand?
Yes, he said we were finished because the judge is working against us. He and the prosecutor are working together because they're both up for re-election. And you, well, you're my lawyer, and I don't think you even believe me.
Your mother's waiting to talk to you, Eddie. Do you want to see her?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I'll tell her. Won't you come up here, ma'am?
Eddie. Oh, Eddie.
Oh, gosh, Mom, I'm glad you're here. I'm scared.
Now, Eddie, there's nothing to be afraid of. When you were trying to tell your story, it sounded very convincing.
Mom, I know they're against me. The judge is fixing the whole thing. I never got a chance to tell anything.
Don't you worry, Eddie. Everything will be all right.
You believe me, don't you? You do, don't you?
Yes, Eddie, I do. I knew you wouldn't lie to me. I only hope the jury will believe you.
It's not the jury, it's the judge who worries me, Mom.
Now, Eddie, don't worry about anything. Just keep on telling the truth. And remember, whatever you've done, I understand, Eddie.
Mom, I haven't lied, except once, and that was when I signed the confession they shoved at me. I had to do it. I was tired. I just didn't know what I was doing. I wanted to get away from the way they were hounding me.
I know, Eddie. Keep your head up, son. Everything will turn out all right. I know it will.
I bet Eddie's mother went to the judge, and then she probably...
Maybe she did. I don't know that. But anyway, the judge couldn't do anything. It was up to the jury to decide.
They said he was guilty, I bet.
Yes, they found Eddie guilty.
I knew they would because
The prosecuting attorney asked the jury to protect society and place this dangerous young man where he could do no more harm.
With that mean judge disliking him, Eddie didn't have a chance.
I don't think Judge Proctor actually disliked Eddie, son. Anyway, he certainly gave him the lightest sentence the law allowed. But it didn't seem that way to Eddie. He was innocent of the actual crime. He knew he was. Still, he'd done everything he was charged with. It didn't make sense to Eddie. But in the eyes of the law, it made him guilty because by driving those men to rob the bank, he was just as guilty as if he'd walked into the bank with a drawn gun. The fact that he didn't know what they were doing didn't matter because he had no proof, and no one believed him when he said he didn't know.
I believe you, Eddie. I still believe you didn't know what those men were doing.
I know how it is, Eddie, but we didn't have the facts to convince the jury.
It is the verdict of this court that you are guilty as charged. I hereby sentence you to 2 years in the state penitentiary.
Gee, that was pretty tough when he wasn't guilty.
Yeah. What about the other fellas, Dad?
Dad, what's this got to do with a punch in the eye and me having a grudge against Larry Peters?
I'm coming to that, son. As for the other two fellas, they'd been caught red-handed. Judge Proctor gave them 10 to 20 years in the pen.
How did Eddie get along?
He didn't get along any too well. He was completely stunned by the sentence, even though it was light. The first 6 months in jail were awful. He couldn't talk, he hardly ate enough to keep alive. He used to go out into the high-walled prison yard during the exercise period every day, but he never bothered with any of the other prisoners. Then one day, he was in the yard over in a shaded corner by himself.
Hey, kid. Eddie.
Yeah? Oh, Rocky.
Oh, I've been wondering if I'd run into you. That's a tough break, kid.
Don't tell me about a tough break, you double-crossing.
Take it easy, kid. I'm your pal now.
Yeah, my pal. Not if I can help it.
Now, look here.
Don't talk to me. I'll square things with you, Rocky, if it's the last thing I ever do. You and that Judge Proctor.
Hey, who do you think you are?
I'm the guy who was going straight. You got me into
Now,
this,
wait
you
a
cheap
minute.
two-bit...
Hey, you bring it up there.
I got him. Come on. Take it easy, Eddie. I'm all right. He just got what he needed.
Come on, Eddie. Come on inside. You shouldn't have done that, Eddie.
I'm glad I did.
You'll kill any privileges you might be up for.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Yeah, I know. But a kid like you... Oh, Warden.
What's all the trouble? What are you up to, Eddie?
I got nothing to say.
He and Rocky Andrews got into a fight. He slapped Rocky out cold.
Eddie, this kind of thing isn't tolerated here.
It's okay with me.
All right. If you want to be tough, we'll let you cool off in solitary. Maybe then you'll feel more sociable. Give him 3 days.
Okay, Chief.
Gee, Dad, this is a good story.
It wasn't a very good story for Eddie, son, because all the time he was growing more bitter. His bitterness was concentrating now on Judge Proctor. He was promising himself that he was going to get even on that score, too. Every time his mother came to see him, she became more worried about the way Eddie acted and the way he talked. She tried to advise him, get him to say that he'd forgive Judge Proctor, but he wouldn't answer when she asked him that. Suddenly, she stopped coming to see him. 2 or 3 weeks passed. Eddie began to think that she was against him, too. And then, one day, the warden called Eddie into his office.
You wanted to see me?
Yes. Come in and sit down, Eddie.
Yeah?
I've got some bad news for you, kid.
I'm listening.
Your mother died this morning, Eddie.
My mom? Oh, no, Warden. She was...
Now, take it easy, kid.
She was the only one who believed me, and I
Is there anything I can do for you, kid?
didn't even give her a chance when she was up here last time.
Eddie, get a hold of yourself, fella. There are arrangements to be made. Have you any other relatives?
What? No, I haven't. I haven't any relatives. Now you see, this wouldn't have happened if I had a decent judge and a fair trial. He's the one.
Take it easy, Eddie. Now, you got a fair trial, and Proctor gave you the lightest sentence.
He didn't give my mother the lightest sentence. I'll get
Now,
that...
Don't get out of line again. You know what happened the last time.
All right. You got me cornered. But I'll... Yeah, I'll do my talking later.
Dad, what did he mean by talking later?
I'm coming to that. You see, the news of his mother's death was almost more than he could take. It nearly drove him crazy.
Gosh.
Built up his grudge against Judge Proctor. It wasn't long after this that the judge received a vicious letter in the mail. It was unsigned, of course, because nobody writing a threatening letter like that would sign his name. At first, the judge paid no attention to the letter. He'd received a few like it in the past and had always ignored them. But when he received a second threatening letter in the same handwriting, he called in a close friend of his, a young attorney named Matt Ferris.
You mean Mr. Ferris who lives down the street?
Yes, say Mr. Ferris.
She whiz.
Gosh, Dad, this is a real story.
Yes, a true story, all right. Well, the judge and Matt Ferris talked it over, and...
No, Matt. I tell you, there's only one way to go about this. I recognize the paper these letters were written on. It's from the penitentiary. Whoever wrote them had them smuggled out and mailed on the outside.
May I have the letters for a few days, Judge?
Of course, you're welcome to them, but I wonder if they're really worth bothering with.
I think the one who wrote them means to back up what he says. Have you any idea what it is?
No. There are any number I've sentenced who still are doing time.
Of course, we have one way of finding out. We'll check the handwriting of all convicts you sentenced. That is, all who are still in jail.
That's a big job.
You leave it to me, Judge. I have a shortcut. First, I'll check those who are expecting their release soon.
Well, I guess you can figure out what happened. The handwriting in those letters pointed right straight to Eddie.
Was he going to get out soon?
He was being given a month off for good behavior.
Did they put him back in again?
No, they didn't even tell him they knew he'd written the letters. Instead, the warden and Matt Ferris and the judge worked out a scheme. You see, the warden had come to believe that Eddie was innocent. And Judge Proctor agreed that if there was any chance of Eddie's innocence, he'd feel obliged to see to it that Eddie was able to begin over again. But before their scheme could work, they first had to know what Eddie would do because they realized how bitter he was against the judge. So Matt Ferris arranged to be outside the prison waiting in a car when Eddie was freed.
Hiya, stranger. Going into town?
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks a lot. It's getting kind of late.
There you are. Climb right in.
Just to swell you, mister.
Ferris is the name, Matt Ferris.
You can call me Joe.
Glad to know you, Joe. Staying in Middleville or just passing through?
I'm staying until I get a little business done.
You been in long?
What?
How long you been in the pen?
Nearly 2 years.
That's pretty tough, kid. What are you thinking of doing now?
No, I don't know. Except
what, Joe?
Except a little business in Middleville.
Say, maybe I can help you, Joe. You haven't got a job and...
Keep it, mister. Last time somebody gave me a job, well, that's what landed me behind bars.
Oh?
From now on, I go it alone.
Just as you say, kid. Where do you want me to drop you?
Well, anywhere near Rosewood and 5th Street.
I'd be careful going into that neighborhood tonight, kid.
Don't worry, I can take care of myself.
Look, why don't you put up at the hotel? I can fix it up tonight, and tomorrow maybe you and I'll talk it over and we'll do some business. Huh?
Listen, mister, whatever you're trying to rig me for, I'm not in business, you understand?
Sure, Joe, sure. Rosewood and 5th, you said?
Yeah, that'll do fine.
Well, Eddie had 2 blocks to get to Judge Proctor's house. He thought he was acting pretty clever in getting off away from the house. But what he didn't know was that Matt Ferris drove directly to the judge's house and parked in the rear of the building. A few minutes later, Eddie walked right up to the front door and rang the bell.
Good evening.
I want to see Judge Proctor.
Well, this is a most unusual time. I don't believe
What's the trouble, Parks?
Well, there's a young fellow here to see you, Judge.
Well, show him in. Hello, Eddie.
I want to see you alone.
All right, Parks, thank you.
But, Judge,
That'll be all, Parks.
Yes, sir.
Well, Eddie, what can I do for you?
You can't do anything for me, Judge. I came here to... I'm going to kill you.
Now, take it easy, Eddie. I happen to know that...
You don't know, Judge. You don't know what I went through in 2 years.
Yes, Eddie. I think I do.
I've lived for this moment. I waited and I planned. And this evening when I got out, I decided to throw all plans away. I'm going to kill you tonight, Judge Proctor.
Now, wait a minute, Eddie.
Who are you?
Don't you remember me, Eddie? Matt Ferris. I drove you here.
Say, what are you trying to do?
All right, Parks, grab his arms. I've got him, sir. That's good.
Let me go. I didn't.
All right, Eddie. You can't run away.
Let me out of here.
Eddie, if you run away, you'll be picked up again on several counts. First, for breaking your parole. Second, for your threatening letters. Third, on a charge of premeditating murder.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't...
Eddie, why don't you come over here and sit down? I'd like to talk to you.
Gee, Dad, what happened then?
That was when Eddie began to see how wrong he was. That Judge Proctor was only doing his official duty when he sent him to prison. That if he had injured the judge that night, he would have ruined his whole life.
I'm glad he forgave the judge.
I thought you would be, Don. You see, what trouble a fella can get into by holding a grudge for a long time?
Yeah. You know, maybe Larry is sorry he socked me. Maybe I had it coming to me anyhow.
Well, that's strictly between you and Larry, son.
Whatever happened to Eddie afterwards, Dad?
It's a funny thing about him. The judge took a great liking to Eddie. In fact, he was responsible for Eddie's getting a job in the very bank he was accused of having helped to rob.
Gee.
Yeah. This fella I call Eddie started out as a messenger for the National Bank. Finally, he became an important executive. Today, Eddie's president of that bank.
But, Dad, I thought you were president of the National Bank.
That's right, son. I am.
This is Dan Daly again. You know, I got to thinking when I heard tonight's drama end in such a pleasant surprise. Others learn by our mistakes, just as we learn by the mistakes a worthwhile example of others. Yes, in every wholesome story or play or moving picture, we admire those who are willing to sacrifice themselves to help others, those who are generous and unselfish. I guess that's part of the legacy of inspiration that comes down from one generation to another. A legacy of example that can inspire all of us to lead better and more useful lives. And there's no greater inspiration in a family than the example of God-respecting, God-loving parents who gather their children together daily for family prayer. Daily family prayer means new understanding in a home. It means a new peace and happiness. It means a family that prays together, stays together. Before saying goodnight, I'd like to thank Alexander Knox and Stanley Clements for their performances this evening. Our thanks to Jack Price for writing tonight's play and to Max Tear for his music. This production of Family Theater Incorporated was directed by David Young. Others in tonight's cast were Gene Vanderpyle, Noreen Gemmel, Tommy Bernard, George Perona, Roland Morris, Ross Forrester, Lou Krugman, Griff Barnett, Herbert Rawlinson, Ed Colemans, and Charles Maxwell. Next week, our Family Theater stars will be Susan Peters and Robert Mitchum in God and the Red Scooter. Your host will be Gregory Peck. This is Dan Daly saying good night, and God bless you.
This series of the Family Theater broadcast is made possible by the thousands of you who felt the need for this kind of program and by the Mutual Broadcasting System, which has responded to this need. Be with us next week at this same time when Family Theater commemorates its first anniversary. Our stars will be Susan Peters and Robert Mitchum, with Gregory Peck as host. Tony Lafrano speaking. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. The Mutual Broadcasting System, in cooperation with Family Theater Incorporated, presents God and a Red Scooter, starring Robert Mitchum and Susan Peters. Gregory Peck is your host. More things are wrought by prayer than this world dreams of.
Tonight, Family Theater celebrates its first anniversary. As host of the birthday program, I want to say a sincere thanks to our radio audience on behalf of all associated with Family Theater. A sincere thanks to you for the wonderful response you've given to the program during the past year. Your letters have been a real encouragement to all who have helped in making these broadcasts possible. And they are possible because so many of us believe in the principles of Family Theater. We believe in the need for trust and faith in God, which must be part of our everyday living if we are to find the meaning and the true purpose of life. We believe that today there is a great need to strengthen family life in America, because only a vigorous, wholesome, and moral home life will keep our American way of life. And we are convinced that the daily practice of family prayer is the surest way to family peace, the surest way to happiness and understanding in our home. These are the simple convictions of family theater, the convictions so many of us share because we know that a prayerful home is a happy home.
Gregory Peck will return after tonight's play, God in a Red Scooter, starring Robert Mitchum and Susan Peters.
Sleep is beautiful. Sleep is a soft hand smoothing the frowns and frets on the tired faces of men. Sleep is a mother hand rocking the cradle of the world, rocking it softly, rocking men and women and all the little children to sweet silence and peace. That's what sleep is. Do you want to know something? I'll tell you. I pity the man who does not know how to sleep. Consider little Eddie, 5 years old. I love little children like Eddie. Eddie knows how to sleep. Before he went to bed tonight, he was having a talk all by himself down there in the garden. This is the way he spoke this afternoon as he sat dropping pebbles into a milk bottle.
And you know what I said, God? You know what I said to Daddy? I said, God did hear me. That's what I said. And God, remember when I said, please give me a red scooter like Stevie and Tony got? Remember when I said that? About the scooter? Didn't you hear me, God? Huh? Didn't you? Look, God, I got lots of pebbles. A whole million.
See what I mean? See why I love little children like Eddie? He wanted a red scooter. He went to sleep dreaming of a red scooter. And did he get the scooter? Well, I shall have to tell you the whole story. In a manner of speaking, the story begins with grapes.
Jeannie, come here a minute. From this hill, you get a pretty good idea how it looks.
Oh, the vines are beautiful, Ed. Nice dark green.
Here, let me hold Eddie for you.
Be careful of his back, Ed. He's so wiggly.
I got him.
Is that our land all the way to the road?
Straight, clean to Route 99. That's 26 acres of good grape wood, Jeannie. Don't it make you feel kind of glad just to look at it?
Oh, yes. It almost makes you want to laugh and cry in the same breath, Ed. Standing here like this and looking down on our own land. Our very own vineyard. Oh, it's nice to own something, Ed.
Yeah. Cost me a lot of jack, too. But it's worth it.
When will the grapes be growing, Ed?
Oh, 3 years. Takes at least 3 years.
Oh, it seems so long to wait. I mean, you'd think they'd just pop out.
Oh, not grapes, Jeannie. You got to build up grapes. You got to work a vineyard. Then after 3 years, you know what it's going to be like down there?
What?
They're going to be out there on the wire trellises, those grapes. They're going to be hanging thick and heavy near the redwood stakes. When the harvest comes, we're going to be packing in over 200 tons of the best red emperors in California.
Gosh, 200 tons from only 26 acres?
Yep.
Oh, it's almost like a miracle, Ed.
Even little Ed knows a good vineyard when he sees one.
Just think, Eddie'll be 3 years old when we start picking our grapes.
Yeah.
And he'll be walking.
Yeah, it takes time for kids and grapes to grow.
These plans, these husband and wife plans, spoken in sunny places, are delightful, invariably delightful. But I must repeat, I pity the man who does not know how to sleep. Just listen to him.
Maybe I made a mistake. It's risky business. It's a gamble putting all your money into grapes.
The man is worrying, mind you, at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Could be a shrinkage. Could be a bad market, and then, well, I just can't afford to bump into a tough market.
Look at him fidgeting with pencils and papers and doubts.
Emperors should sell. Munson said Emperors was a good grape. But I don't know, maybe I should have stocked up with Muscats or Rabiers. Norton did all right last year with Rabiers.
All this at 1 o'clock in the morning when he should be asleep with his wife and babies. You'd think the gentleman might allow himself the gentle privilege of getting tired. At least by 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd think he might yawn and go to bed. Why doesn't he stop fretting? Why doesn't he relax? Poor fellow, I pity the man who does not know how to sleep.
You're not getting enough rest, Ed.
Now, don't start fussing again, Jean.
Well, you know what the doctor said. All this worrying will only make you...
Worrying happens to be part of a grape deal. Besides, a fellow's got a right to get excited over his first harvest. We're picking in 3 weeks.
But you're losing weight. You're not sleeping and...
Well, what's eating you anyway, Jeannie?
Oh, Eddie, we do have so much. A house and babies and...
Go ahead. What are you trying to say?
Well, if anything ever happened to you... I mean, grapes aren't everything, Eddie. Not if you're going to keep losing your health and everything.
That's what's worrying you?
Yes.
Look, Jeannie, I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe 15, 20 years from now, we'll want to take it easy. We'll want a better house than this. And the kids, well, they got to get an education, college. Every kid we have goes to college. And then, maybe someday, you and me will take a trip, Jeannie. All the way to Holland, maybe. You always said you'd like to see kids in wooden shoes.
It's so nice to hear you talk like that, Ed.
All right. That's the picture. Now, do you know what's painting that picture?
What?
Grapes. You see those grapes out there tonight? I put 4 years into them. Every cent we own is in those grapes. And right now, this minute, I figure we got over 230 tons on those vines. They'll be ready for the lug boxes in 3 weeks. Now, if anything goes wrong with them, Jeannie, well, it's going to put an awful big dent in things.
Nothing's going to go wrong with the grapes, Ed.
A lot of things can go wrong with them.
The trouble with you, Ed, is that you haven't got enough faith.
Listen, Jeannie, you do the praying and let me look after the grapes, will you?
Well, that's the way it is with some people. Their heads are forever spinning plans and projects. Their heads go whirling with tremendous worries about tomorrow, then the next day, and the next day. They're forever building barns and castles at 1 o'clock in the morning when they should be asleep. You'd think Edward might have a little more confidence in me. You'd think he'd stop worrying for the space of a quiet sleep and let me look after the grapes. For I do have a way with grapes, with vines and branches. Understand me, I'm not against plans and projects. I find no fault with the sweat on a man's brow. For labor's a magnificent and courageous thing. I'm talking rather about something that is more courageous than labor. I'm talking about relaxation, about confidence and trust and faith in me. I like the man who sleeps. I love the man who relaxes and who, like a child, rests easily in the arms of my providence. Not so with Edward. Edward is too full of plans, as if the plans of men were merely the plans of men. Listen to him.
Sure, I'm ready to start, Campbell. My grapes can't wait. Where are those pickers you promised me?
Coming up the valley as fast as we can, Ed. Don't blow your top, man.
You got enough pickers for me?
All you need. Only give me time.
How soon do you figure to make it?
We'll be cutting your vines by the 17th. I'll guarantee that.
Okay, only make it fast.
Fast as I can.
Now I like vineyards. Vineyards and the fruit of the vine. Thick clustered grapes all bursting black and purple in the harvest time. These are among some of the lovelier aspects of my creation. I bear no grudges against vineyards, having regard for the littlest grape. But once in a while, by design, I have an eternal distaste for the haphazard and the fortuitous. Once in a while, by design, clouds will gather for reasons sufficient to the ultimate purpose of things. I gather a breeze at Burbank and scoop a cool breath off the high Sierras. Northeasterly, my gales go playing with the canyon dust and the sea sands at San Diego. And quite suddenly, quite perceptibly, there's a mist in the Midlands, in the valley of the San Gabriel, and out around the mountains, and down from the mountains, down around the flatlands of San Fernando. Nor is it any surprise that there is mist also in the eyes of a woman in Fresno.
It won't rain, Ed. Don't keep staring out the window.
You heard what it said on the radio.
But this is just mist, Ed. You know how it is with mist. They come and go. It'll be dry tomorrow. The grapes will be dry. Wait and see.
Listen.
It's only a little flurry of rain, Ed.
Listen, will you please? Listen.
God won't spoil everything by letting it rain now, Ed. I know he won't. Oh, God. Don't let it rain.
God won't let it rain.
Oh, Ed. Don't let it hurt you.
3 days. 3 days to harvest. And look at it tonight. I wonder how the boys feel tonight over at Del Rey and Sierra Madre. Yeah. I wonder if their luck boxes are floating around in the vineyards, too.
What's the matter, Daddy? Huh? What's the matter?
Go inside with your sisters, Eddie. Go inside.
You work for years. Prune. Cultivate. You put every red cent you own into grapes, and what do you get? Washout. A man ain't supposed to cry. Yeah, a man ain't supposed to cry.
Believe me, I hold no grudges against vineyards. I like vineyards. But more than all the vineyards in the world, I like man. I love man. I know man well, yet never do I cease to wonder at him. He's capable of so much, of kindness, of charity, and of sacrifice. And yet so often he is incapable of hope. All things you can ask of him at times save this, a little faith, a little confidence. It was so with you, Edward. It was so with you those nights.
What are you so jittery about, Ed? Heck, man, you're going to do all right. You got a nice crop out there.
Yeah, I had a nice crop last year, too, Camel.
Forget last year. That was plain freak weather. I've been around vineyards for over 30 years, and I never saw...
Okay. You got your pickers ready to start for me tomorrow?
Best pickers I got. From the looks of them vines, Ed, I'm guaranteeing they'll be cutting 300 lugs a day.
Okay, be seeing you tomorrow, Camel. Jeannie! Oh, Jeannie, I got a surprise for you and the kids. Yeah, I wonder if she's lying down again. I know I'd find you in here, lazy bones. Jeannie, I want to take you and... Hey, what's the matter, Jeannie?
Tired, Ed.
You don't look good. You don't look good at all. Maybe I better get Doc Hanley for you.
Wait a minute, Ed. It's funny. Somehow, I've always had a feeling I'd be lying here like this, talking here like this, telling you sooner or later that...
What are you talking about?
Ed, I'll be leaving here for a while.
Now, look here. You just run down. Doc Hanley will have you fixed up in a jiffy.
Come here, Ed. Sit on the bed. Now look at me. Do I look scared?
No, you don't look scared, but you look...
Somehow, I know exactly how it's going to be. Maybe you better start praying for me, Ed. Don't leave me alone, Eddie. Don't ever leave me alone. Just keep praying for me, and maybe we'll still take that trip someday. You and me. We'll go first class, huh? All the way to Holland to see the tulips and the kids with the little wooden shoes.
What about it, Doc?
Far as I know, and remember, I'm only one doctor, there's nothing much that can be done for Jeannie, Ed.
All right. I'll get her. I'll get the best specialists in the country if I have to.
Go right ahead. By the way, you can go in and see her now. She's conscious again.
Hello, Jeannie, kid.
Hello, Ed.
You're looking pretty good, Jeannie. Your face is still beautiful, honey.
How are the kids?
Good. Listen, Jeannie, I was just talking to Doc Hanley.
I know, Ed. It's all right.
I'm going to get you the best specialist in the country.
Ed.
Yeah?
I asked you to do something for me once. Remember?
Okay, Jeannie. You asked me to pray. Look, I'll get down on my knees right now.
Do you really want me to start praying?
No. No, not that way yet.
All right. Now, look, if I have to kidnap a half dozen of the best doctors, I'll do it. You're going to get better, Jeannie. You hear me, honey? You're going to get better. You'll be out of here before you know it. Excuse me for barging in like this, doctors. What did you find?
We're doing everything possible, sir. You'll have to be patient.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Be patient.
Why don't you go home and rest? Get a little sleep.
Sleep? Not now. I can't sleep now.
I asked you to do something for me once. Remember?
All right, Jeannie. All right. I'll do it for you. Right here in this church, I'll do it for you. Are you listening, God? I don't know the word you're supposed to use, but it's from the bottom of my heart. I'm praying for Jeannie. I can't lose her, God. Not now. We got kids, God. 3 kids. We're trying to make a go of it with grapes. You gotta hear me, God. You gotta make Jeannie well. Please, God. Please, I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart.
What's the matter, Daddy?
Nothing?
Mom's sick, huh?
Yeah.
I got pebbles, look.
Put them in the milk bottle.
16, 12, 17. Why don't you ask God to send Mom home, huh? Want me to ask God for you, huh, Daddy? 56, 57. Huh, Daddy?
Maybe God's got cotton in his ears, Eddie.
Cotton?
Yeah. You can't hear so good with cotton in your ears.
He can hear me.
That's so?
Yep.
Once he didn't hear you, Eddie.
When?
Well, remember when you asked him for that scooter?
Yeah, a red scooter.
Well, God didn't hear your prayers then, Eddie.
Yes, he did. God did hear my prayers.
Come over here. You're up on my knee. Now, what did you say?
I said God did hear my prayers.
That's so. What did he say to you?
God said, he said no. Sometimes God says no, huh, Daddy? What's the matter, Daddy? What's the matter, huh?
Hello?
Is this the residence?
Yes, nurse. What's the news?
Well, we wanted to let you know that...
Nurse? Operator, I've been cut off. Operator, get me Mercy Hospital. The line's dead.
I asked you to do something for me once. Remember?
I don't know. God, I don't know how to pray to you. I tried, Jeannie. So help me, I tried. You can't die, Jeannie. Not alone, not up there in that room alone. You can't die on me, Jeannie.
Sometimes God says no, huh, Daddy?
All right. All right, God, you got me where you want me. Listen to me. Please, you gotta listen now. Sure, I want Jeannie. When you love somebody, you don't want to see them die. You want to have them... God, you want to have them close enough to put your arms around. Okay, maybe I did want her. Maybe I did want you to say yes, just like I wanted you to say yes to that first harvest.
Sometimes God says no, huh, Daddy?
All right. Sometimes you say no, too. If that's the way it's going to be, well, all right. You're the boss. I'm admitting it. You're the boss. Only listen to me now.
I don't want Jeannie to die all alone without me. You hear me, God? I can take it. I can take anything, only don't let it be all alone for Jeannie. I'm asking you, God. Honest, God, I'm asking you. Jeannie.
Hello, Eddie.
What? You're not... You're smiling at me, Jeannie. You're looking at me, talking to me.
I'm really feeling much better today. Come on. Put your arms around me. And stop looking like a baby.
Maybe God is saying yes, Jeannie. Maybe he's saying yes.
The night tonight is beautiful over California. For the first time in a long time, a tired man sleeps. Resting at last in the shadow of my hand, he sleeps. I might have said no. I have said no to some of my loveliest children, my best beloved. But know this always, Edward. There are times when my refusals are necessary to a plan you cannot understand. The little Eddie, being wiser in his innocence, seems to understand. That storm upon your vineyard, that storm that drew your curse, was a blessing to 1,000 other Edwards. In pasture lands parched by the drought, 600 miles to the north. So the tragedy today is but the pruning and the preparation of a lovelier tomorrow. Yes, there are times I have said no, as many fathers have said no to their dearest, their best beloved children. But tonight, Edward, I have said yes. O night, rest lightly on the tired eyes of the man. And concerning Eddie, 5 years old, listen to him mixing his prayers tonight.
Our Father, who art in heaven, the Lord is with thee, and blessed is the fruit. And give us this day our daily bread, and ever and ever and ever. Amen. And send me a scooter like Stevie's got.
I tell you, I've seen all the beauties of my creation. I've seen the hills gathered in the purple silences of twilight. I've seen the sunshine breaking bright on the mountains. I've seen violets bending easily in a random breeze. And I've watched the cool blue swell of the ocean where my golden green dolphins play. Yes, I've seen the smile of a mother. And I've looked into the eyes of young boys and girls in love. All good. All wonderful and good. But I tell you, there's nothing so beautiful as the small face of a child, the small lips of a child fumbling a prayer, getting it mixed up, getting it tangled and sweetly muddled with sleep. Listen to him.
A red scooter, huh, God?
All right, Eddie. It'll be a red scooter. I've willed it, Eddie. A red scooter. Now sleep, Eddie. Sleep.
This is Gregory Peck again. While listening to tonight's program, I got to thinking how peaceful life might be if people everywhere had sincere faith and trust in one another. Because so often it's false suspicions and mistrust that begin disruptions in a home as well as among nations. Yes, faith in God and trust in one another is the simple, direct meaning of the words, "The family that prays together stays together." Before saying goodnight, I want to express our thanks to everyone who has participated or helped in family theater broadcasts during the past year. Our thanks to all those in the recent radio poll who voted Family Theater a special honor as the outstanding program of 1947. Our thanks to the California Parent Teachers Association which has just named Family Theater as the #1 family program on the air today. And a special word of thanks to so many of our audience for their letters and telegrams of congratulations on Family Theater's first birthday. This is Gregory Peck saying good night to you all.
Our thanks to Susan Peters and Robert Mitchum for their performances this evening, and to Rod O'Connor for his narration. Music was scored and conducted by Max Terr. This production of Family Theater Incorporated was written by Timothy Mulvey and directed by David Young. Others who appeared in tonight's play were Henry Blair, Gloria Blondell, Clayton Post, and Alan Harris. Next week, our Family Theater stars will be James Craig and Barbara Hale in Out of the Wilderness. Your hostess will be Maureen O'Hara. This series of the Family Theater broadcasts is made possible by the thousands of you who felt the need for this kind of program and the Mutual Broadcasting System, which has responded to this need. Be with us next week at the same time when our Family Theater stars will be James Craig and Barbara Hale with Maureen O'Hara as hostess. Tony Lofrano speaking. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.